Hey everyone, I got a request to go over what an invested Arcana strategy would look like because I did earlier put out the zero investment Arcana strategy and a lot of people jumped on it, said they enjoyed it, they're having a good time with it. But a lot of comments were asking me what would an investment strategy look like? So this is what that ended up looking like. I played around with it a lot, messed around a lot of different concepts and ideas. At the end of the day, the benefit I found to Arcana was piling on a lot of other mechanics that take more time out of the mapping experience, we'll say. And what I mean by that is like my other strategies are like Cube and Compass. They run you in and out of the maps fairly quickly. Whereas this strategy, including Arcana, because it kind of pulls you out of it for a little bit, I kind of comboed it with a bunch of other strategies that keep you in the map, pull you out of the maps as well, such as Dark Surge, Nightmare, and at that point, there really wasn't much else to do, so we piled in maps since we got a lot of rare monsters going in with us. So this is what it ended up looking like. We'll dive into the main meat of this, the Arcana point of the tree. And as you see, we grabbed everything in the tree except for this because we're using the compass. We don't need to force it. So we grabbed everything along the side here. This will give you like increased chances. You have a chance to get all 30 activations done right away instead of one at a time. Which is a big deal when that goes off. It gives you more drop quantities and stuff like that. It's pretty good. So make sure you have all of those. Down the middle, then you choose which kiss mix you want to weight in your favor. So you're more likely to see them. So I chose survival and summon, mainly because I need summon for myself, survival for myself. And summons they're pretty good. They sell for some money. So we added that with the extra point. Over here, we have our war. And the main thing about war is we want it to last longer because Arcana takes time in the maps, slows us down. We're going to be stopping to do the Sandlord stuff. That's going to slow us down. And our war's usually going to run out unless we add time to it. Now, maybe we don't need this much time, but there are some really big maps where this comes in handy. But yeah, if you feel like you have way too much extra war time at the end, you can shave some of these points off and put them somewhere else. But just for simplicity reasons, we're going to put them all into war here for more time to make the war last for the whole map. We are going to jump into these God of War followers to get us more maps. And over here, we're in our map tree. We go to our basic side here. We get the chance for them to be upgraded, chance for them to be replicated. The rare monsters are going to drop maps now. And the big god chest from killing those God of War followers, which we activated with the God of War points. And we had extra points here. Like if you want to weight more Kismix, you can take those 2 points out of lava and you can weight more Kismix if you want. You can put them in drop quantity. Like you can move these points around. I put them here because I like lava. Lava is probably the best place to farm. So I want as many lava maps as I can get. Honorable mentions here is Glacial Abyss. Maybe you want some of those. But yeah, you can move these points around as you want. Moving on, we have our Nightmare tree. Nightmare's great for this. It gives us that lightning. Sometimes it's more rare monsters, which combo with the map farming. It's the lightning will help speed us up sometimes when it shows up, and every once in a while it pulls us into the Nightmare. Nightmare is not bad at all, and even honestly, being pulled out isn't that bad either. It's not that big of a deal because you usually get rewarded for being pulled out, so it's a good thing. However, like I said, the other strategies are built around the Sandlord maximizing your gold per hour to keep your gliders in the air. This one is not going to pump out as much gold. So you won't be able to keep your gliders running, and you won't be able to do that. And a part of that is having to do the Nightmare, having to do the Arcana. But if we're going to do one, we might and also having to do the Blacksail, right? But if we're going to do one, we might as well do all of them at the same time. So that's the point of this. That's where we're at. So Nightmare's coming in here. We do go up here to get this one. It's not the old OP one that it used to be, but it's still good because it's 20% additional drops. And of course, that's what this is all about. Over here, we get another 20% additional drops, and it's good to go. Combo this with the good card. This card, it's rare. It doesn't show up as much as it does, but when it does show up, make sure you pick it. It's very important. You'll start getting a lot of these Dream Talkings just by killing monsters in your map. It doesn't show up as much as it used to, but it's really good when you see it. Make sure you pick it. All right, moving on. Not finally, I lied. There's 4 points here, a little bit of drop quantity, and some magic monsters, obviously, for the maps. And moving on, this is the final one. We are in the Blacksail. We did go down the boss token route, because I am small brain and honestly, I don't want to figure out, I'll be honest, I just don't want to figure out the min-maxed approach to get the best memories. Nah, I'm lazy. I'm just going to farm boss keys and either sell boss keys and or run the bosses and let the bigger brain players figure this stuff out. So here we are. We're slamming boss keys. We go down here. Especially sometimes it lets you skip the phase. Sometimes it lets you do it again. So you can do 3 tries in a run. It's fun. This one lets you skip it. So we put the 4 points here. Really big, really valuable. There you go. That's our points. Over here, we have the 4 points into the drop quantity, 10%. We don't do this one because honestly, Arcana has really rippy mechanics sometimes if you're not paying attention. Yeah, you can be really pro player and survive, and it's not the end of days, but comboed with the Nightmare pulls you out of the map, which is also going to take one of your portals away just because you got pulled out from that Nightmare. Then you run past the Hangman card and you're not paying attention. Boom, your game's over. It's really frustrating when that happens. I just avoid it. I don't use it specifically for the strategy. That is another reason why I don't include Nightmare in some other strategies, is because of this. So we don't use it. Instead, we do go for this. And we are using the big expensive compasses, so we want that 10% chance to not use it up. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, we will show you the compasses. This is part of the strategy. This is why it is the investment version. Now, it's going to be a little weird here, but bear with me. So yes, we do have the Nightmare, and there is only one Nightmare compass. That's why it's blue. And we do have the War Compass, and I'll be honest, the Legendary War Compass is good if you're strong enough to beat down these 400% additional life rare monsters without slowing your mapping down. You're still one-shotting them. Power to you, run that compass. I just don't, no. I'm going to run the blue one. It just takes too much time for that. We are running the purple Blacksail compass here, and this is to give us 2 shots at the Blacksail per run. So instead of doing 6 runs to get into a Blacksail, we get it done in 3 or less, because sometimes it procs extra times. And finally, we are using the big expensive compass. Now, this is the big talking point of this whole strategy. Is this compass worth it? Well, if you ask me, it's worth it if you win. It's a gambling compass, and it's priced for gamblers. I do have level 6 pets for Arcana. I do run in there with pets, and I'll tell you, even with the pets, at the current prices, I'm not getting my money back every single time. So, in my opinion, that falls under gambling compass. Now, then what that means is around 25 FE a compass or more, you're risking not getting your money back every time you go into that Arcana. Now, that doesn't mean on average, you're not going to make money. Like, if you do this 1,000 times, you'll make money. Probably. But what that means is you can go through runs of 50 of these compasses and not get your money back and feel like you just wasted a bunch of money. And I hate that personally. But if you're on the other side of that gamble and every time you're in there, you're popping the fuck off. Sorry. It's good times. It's good times. So that's where we're at. I like the sweet spot for this, in my personal opinion, is 20, 15 FE or 20 is where it should be priced at to be non-gambly, but it is a fun gambling mechanic. So people are going to pay the gamble tax, and that's why it's up there now. But we do use it, and the advantage here is that it speeds the runs up, so it doesn't take as many, because you get extra cards in there, extra cards. You get more chances to proc the 30 all at once, which is great. On top of that, the difference between the purple and the yellow, the purple one also gives you this. This will give you Destiny drop chance. So when you're actually doing the chess the board game part of it, you will get more drop chance there for, I'm hoping, the Fates and the Kiss Mix. I can't confirm or deny this, but either way, it's making the chests, in theory, drop more stuff, which is good. So that's the compasses we're using. Because of these compasses, I'm opting not to use my resonance in this strategy. So we are not rolling the maps. That doesn't mean you don't have to. You're more than welcome to roll your resonance, and obviously more drop quantity is always good. The reason I'm opting to not roll resonance here is because I want to save my resonance for other strategies and or deep space farming, or even if I'm in deep space, in which case I'm using it to enter the map, right? The Nightmare doesn't benefit too much from drop quantity because you go into the Nightmare and that's where you get your rewards. Arcana doesn't benefit from drop quantity because, again, you go into the Arcana, that's where you get your rewards. Blacksail does benefit from drop quantity a little bit because the mobs do show up and they do drop stuff. And if you're lucky, you do get some good random memories to drop. but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make in this particular area. And again, same thing with maps. Maps, more drop quantity, more maps, but I'd rather keep the resonance in this particular scenario. So I opt not to roll, but if you want to, go nuts. Resonance is cheap. You probably have lots of it, as you can see. It's not that hard. It's not a big deal. I'm just a very conservative player. All right, so that's the strategy. Hopefully that helps. I'm going to jump in, show you some gameplay. I might even, if we're lucky, get an Arcana to pop off here. And hell, we may even get a cube to pop off. So let's get some gameplay. Let's see what we can do. All right, what do we do? We're going in the nightmare. All right, it's gonna be a long video. We got cube. Change the type of one bubble to cube. Replicate a whim randomly. All right, let's change one to cube because why not? And we're off. This is gonna be a bad nightmare. And no big deal. We'll go through it quickly. See, luckily, I don't have, like I said, we don't have that 2 portal talent points in the void chart. We'll call it. And see, Nightmare, when it pulls you out, it takes one of those portals away. And sometimes when you load back in, you may instantly die. It's just like the mobs are still attacking you and your body was there when you're, it's weird. And your run's over before it starts. And when you got those expensive compasses, that's a really bad feeling. And I speak from experience. So yeah, there was a point when I was using that point, and specifically because of the Nightmare, I removed it. And that's why we don't use that. I can come into the Nightmare now safely when I leave. Even if I get one shot when I leave, I'm not freaking out that I just wasted $25 on a compass. And yeah, so that's the thought process behind why we use that constellation point. All right, hopefully that was enough air filler for the Nightmare and you guys weren't too bored watching me run the Nightmare. We're gonna get back into the map and do Arcana because that's why we're here. All right, so we go into the Arcana, we pick up our war, and as you know, we can load up the cards. Here's the thing, you want to complete the cards one at a time, because as I mentioned, sometimes you'll get rewarded more points. See, I got 2 there for completing that card. Sometimes you'll even get 30 points, the whole 30. So if I have 4 of them active all at once, and the first one procs to give me 30 points, that's 3 cards I wasted. So you do want to stagger your completion of the cards just to try and maximize those high rolling procs if and when you get them. See, I have 2 cards going here. That's not what we want to do. So I'm going to try and complete the sun before I complete the other one and see what happens. Maybe it gets completed. No, we went to 28. All right, so we're going to go now complete this one. That one goes to 29. We're not getting lucky. But we did proc a 2 earlier, so we were able to get the 6 out of the 5. So we got to save a compass here, no big deal. And there we go, we have our 30. Now we get to go to the Arcana arena. Woo! All right, we got us a special game board. Special game board, how can I tell it's a special game board? Well, you see all these red cards, that means it's gonna be a game board where there's gonna be a bunch of spikes at the end and then a bunch of chests I gotta upgrade. So I wanna pick up as many of these cards as I can. Yeah, so we're gonna try and do that. Now, how did I get the special game board? Well, that's part of the Arcana tree we spec'd into. It gives you increased chances of getting these special boards. So now we're gonna roll. We're gonna get a 2 here because we want to pick up these cards. This 3 will now give us lives. We'll get to cycle this dice away. We got a 5. This will put us back on track. It's not ideal. We're jumping way too far ahead in my opinion. We're not getting enough cards here, but we don't have a lot of options, so it is what it is. There, this is good. Hopefully this gives us some back dice. It did. It gave us a back 6. All right, so we want to go forward 1 here to grab that card. Now we're going to go back 6 to grab this card. Now we're going to go forward 2 to grab this card. Now we got a 5. Ah, that's not good. It's not good. I guess we'll keep that 5. We'll use this 3, see what happens. Now we have a 5. That's too far. All right, give me a 1. That's huge. Okay, now we got us a problem. We have 4 lives. We got to pray we make it through this minefield. Luckily, that's a high roll. That's good. A high roll is good. We are out. All right, now we want low rolls. 4s, no good. So we're going to put 5 here to get us, I call this back on track because these are spaced out every 2. So right now we're off the track of the chest. So we want to get back on track. So we need to go on an odd number. And now we're back on track. So the 4 is going to work. And the 5 is going to take us off track, which is bad. We're going to hope we get another odd and we're back on track. And we're off track, which sucks. So we only got 4 chests. But to be honest, even if we perfectly completed this the best way we could at the start, we usually only end up with 2 or 3 rainbows anyway with this particular board. And I think we're going to end up with 2 here 2.5, it looks like. So it's not so bad. It could have been better, could have been worse. It's about average. And we're going to get in there, and we're going to hope we get our money back from all these expensive compasses we were using. Here we go. So yes, I do use the Arcana pets. They are active now, specifically when we are in the Arcana. They are all level 6. Does that make this give me more stuff? Well, we'll find out together, won't we? Sometimes, yes, it does. But I will be that guy, that pessimist, if you will, that will say from experience, most of the time when I get ×3 chests, it is ×3 nothing. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's like, yay, look at them all go off. Yeah, cool. I got this, you know, one of these had no FEs, one of them had 4, and one of them had 1. So the argument there is like, well, you could have only opened the chest that had none, and you got 5 when you should have only got none. But in my opinion, like, that's 5 FE. I don't care about 5 FE. That's not why we're here. That's not why I spent 25 FE. So that's getting nothing. I just got ×3 of nothing, essentially. And that's what I mean by these. It's a nice pet when it works, but when it doesn't, it doesn't. So don't be, what I'm trying to say is don't be too intimidated. There's a ×3 rainbow. Surely we're going to make a lot of money here. Well, okay, this one's actually good. And there's 2 kiss mix. Okay. So this is when the pet is good. There you go. So when this happens, this is a good time to have the pet. But when that doesn't happen, is bad time. Now, what was the kiss mix we got? I don't even know. Roar. Intimidate on hit. Isn't that the fun one that we use? Pog. Well, luckily, we already have it, so we'll probably be selling that one. That one's actually, I don't know if that's still worth money. To be honest with you, it's probably come down in price. But yeah, so that's Arcana. This is the investment Arcana strategy. I've gone over the pros and the cons for both investing in the compasses and investing in the pets. As you can see, this is a... those are just rainbows. Those are just rainbows. So that one, honestly, we didn't even get a lot of FE there. It looked like a lot of stuff, but it was a lot of nothing with like 3 FE. It was a lot of nothing and 3 FE. Anyway, point is, we've gone over the pros and cons of both investing in the expensive compasses and investing in the pets. Yes, I do see value, especially in the pets. The pets, yes, there's more value there. The compasses, you got to balance out that price. 30 FE is way too high. 25 is way out of my comfort zone for it. Even when you saw that explosion happen, I was literally running this for like an hour and a half off stream before I made this video, and I got nothing. And like it was a completely different experience. But yeah, when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. If you're into that kind of strategy and that farm, this is gonna be perfect for you. And hopefully this helps. So that's about it for now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, I will be streaming live on Twitch. That will be linked in the description below. You can leave your comments here. Like I said, I do get back to them at a slower pace. If you're looking for that one-on-one live interactive experience or customer service instant answer question, I do recommend clicking that link below and joining me in Twitch. All right, everybody. Hopefully this strategy helps you. Hopefully you enjoy Arcana. Make sure you say hi to the Kaija Booba Giga Queen for me. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Happy hunting.